Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy, Youre. It is the 2nd of February, 2016. But everybody else in the world knows it as Ground Hog Day. That's right. This is supposed to be the folklore when Punxsutawney Phil will indicate that we will have a new spring. And as always, the media brings the emphasis of it, and it's projected that that may be the case. However, I say ground your feet. That's right. Because it doesn't matter if we have another 8 weeks of winter or we have a humid spring, summer month. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you're going to ground your feet. But see, I understand that because I know some of you right now, that's secondary. Because you've been rolling and you've been taking the punches as they come. You have been taking things as they've been shown and you've been making do. I got that. I understand that. Well, let me remind you something. If the placement that you have is not where you feel that you should be inside, that's an indication, y'all, that you're falling short. That's an indication that there's something that's being overlooked. That's why I convey to each and every one of you, 2016 is not the year of the victim. It's not. That's a state of mind. And you'll start to see the correlations on how that is displayed, how that's displayed in your health. Are you asking yourself or taking note, how are my relationships? Are they healthy? Are they helping me grow? Are they helping me tap into a side I have yet to know? So no, your life is not supposed to be a turnstile of disappointment, a merry-go-round of dismay. Nor should be your interactions with the people that try to gain access to your life. How about gain access to your bed? How about have access to your economic state? See, everything correlates to you, within you. So that's why you're going to hear me play it out like a broken CD. I'm going to keep asking you, do you know who you are? Do you know? And if you don't, why won't you be honest with yourself? You know, we put so much emphasis on the things that will distract us than the things that will uplift us. But yet we get mad when it doesn't suit us. I know I'm talking to someone. You're frustrated that your money is not right, but you won't humble yourself to do something about it. Let me tell you something. The worst thing you can do is put a price tag on your self-worth. I keep echoing this to you, queens, because Society wants you to be the prostitute. I keep trying to tell y'all that. You think society cares? They don't. They want for you to get conveniently in a position. They want you to have that mindset that you keep your legs wide and your head low. That's not your walk. It's not your walk. But I get it. Because you don't want to step out of your comfort zone. Because if you step out of your comfort zone, that is going to place you in a place of vulnerability. And because of the fact that you suffer from control issues with yourself, you've covertly hidden those things that are compulsions. These are your hang-ups. These are your flaws. Now, mind you, ain't nobody perfect. Nah. But it is your responsibility to strive to be the best you. I know I'm talking to someone. You let this person have access to you, and y'all don't even say 3 words, and he's got your panties by your ankles. He's so brazen about his disposition. He bend you over wherever. But you are quick to say, I want respect. But you ain't respecting yourself. And I understand. Because we are products of environments that we've been exposed to. But what if those environments that you may have been exposed to was really trauma? You ever thought about that? That's why you see the status quo of men and women. They will embrace, they're quick to say, well, you know what? Who are you to judge me? When it's your position that speaks for you. What's wrong with that? Long time ago, I put a video out called Fool's Gold and Rock Candy. And it was based off of an experience I had. I went out one night, and what I saw disturbed me. It disturbed me because there were so many beautiful people. But you could tell they were broken. They didn't have any guidance, and they were just doing what needed to be done to be acknowledged, even if it meant that their self-respect would be not valued. What's wrong with that, man? What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Let me fast forward this. One day you want to end up being that elder, God willing. And in that process, you're going to have a whole lot of wisdom through personal experience. The responsibility is the knowledge that you're going to pass to the generations that are going to walk behind you. But the more and more that we embrace the advancement of technology, we negate the things that should matter most. Here's my example. There used to be a time, think back when you were, I'd say, under the age of 10, right? And whoever was influential in your life. Maybe if you had both your parents, you had a single parent household, or you were raised by a family member, your grandmother, your uncle, aunt, whoever. The first thing they did was they tried to instill a routine and a pattern in you. When you started to go off to school, they started to show you the importance of being responsible, but they also tried to bring awareness for you to be safe. They would always say, don't let nobody touch you. If someone tries, you tell a teacher, you let me know. Then they would instill for you to memorize your phone number, where you lived, any pertinent information in case you got lost. Let's fast forward 35 years ahead. Some people don't even realize they've been lost that long, because the pertinent information that makes you, you forgot about it. It don't have a value anymore. It's not conducive to the direction that you're living. That's why the whole metaphor of emotional backpacks, you got to go and clear it. See, nobody's going to do your work. And the sad reality of that is nobody wants to watch you die slow. But people do it all the time. I ain't gotta remind you that. You just turn on a TV near you, and there's a story about little Johnny got shot. Little Sarah was found behind a trash can, dismembered. Or Uncle Larry was convicted of unspeakable acts. That's not by coincidence, y'all. But society wants you to not see your value in your life. Society doesn't want it. Society wants you to turn a blind eye and keep living. No, we don't have time for you to assess where you are. I need you to continue to consume. No, I don't need you to turn around and see your self-worth. I need you to progress. So what? There was trauma. Don't you realize any wound that is not healed will eventually become infected? What about your heart? What about your health? Come on now. Now more than ever, we live in an age where mental illness is making front page news. But guess what? You don't see no interaction in that. You don't see no you don't see people up in arms about that. And then they wonder why little Tom is shooting up the place. Let me show you how real this is, y'all. We are living in an age now that you have suicide bombers that are 6 years old. Marvin Gaye once said on the What's Going On album, part of the Ecology song, there's a line in there, he said, what about the babies? What about the children? What about tomorrow? See, if we don't take care of our young will not take care of us. It will actually be a contradiction because they don't know who they are. So we are really living and breeding sociopathic behaviors. For those who don't understand what I'm saying, a sociopath is a person that has no empathy. They don't know how to differentiate between right or wrong. All they know is live. So it doesn't surprise me we hear the outcry or the seeds planted 4 years ago of YOLO. You only live only once. But at what cost? To die slow? To fall short of our dreams? To not speak our truth? To not know our legacy? So I ask each and every one of you, it's not about the approval of others. It's the validation of you. You're not supposed to be living like it's Ground Hog Day, y'all. Every day that you wake up, it's another day to define yourself. That's why you hear the term new you. But guess what? If you don't have a spiritual connection, you ain't living. You think it's supposed to be your destiny to walk around with ailments inside your body, in constant pain. Your energy level fluctuates like a light switch? No, it's not. And it's really contradictory because let's go back to the person. Your life is not about suffering in silence. You suffer in silence because you refuse to acknowledge what exists. You can't fix something you won't look at. Nothing happens by chance, y'all. And guess what? In the corner, the devil is laughing. And I know that's got some of y'all shook because deep down inside, you got this. On the top of your head, you feel like you're drowning within your own emotional state. And you're saying, one more disappointment, Gerald, and that's it. They don't know how close I am to letting it go. The devil is a liar, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't realize how strong you are. But what you don't realize is your life, your blessings is on the other side of that spiritual storm. Some of y'all are starting to get real with yourself because you've been made a believer that demons do exist. It's been brought to your attention, treachery and betrayal, unlike anything you know, and you are trying to keep that porcelain mask on your faces to convince your peers, oh, I got it together. But those who know you, I'm talking about the real you. I'm talking about that beautiful mind, that handsome man, that beautiful woman that lives inside you, that has been enslaved. Why do you think the church has always used the term, let the shackles go? The shackles is your denial. The shackles is your truth. And the truth will always set you free. So some of y'all are not feeling too well because now you're starting to understand that your emotional state has a direct impact on your health. But why don't you give props where props is? Because see, if your spirit is not on point, your health ain't on point. Why won't we look at that? Why won't we take stock of that? You too busy worrying about those secrets, those skeletons of behavior coming back from the past. You say to yourself, you know what? I got to dot my I's and cross my T's, because if that person, if I don't do what I need to do, this person's going to expose me for who I am. And my reality as I know it is going to be destroyed. Let me tell you something. The reality that you're living in ain't yours. That's why some of y'all have, unfortunately, having to deal with this. You can't turn a blind eye to bad behavior no more, now can you? No, you can't. And you're frustrated. So you say, well, you know what? That's all right. Guys do it all the time. I'm going to have my own little starting five. And when I get bored, I'll go ahead and pull from the bench. And, you know, I'll get Johnny to pay my bills. I'll get Larry to spend me some time. I'll get Steve to scratch that itch. And I'll holler at Bill because he likes to talk. But you're tired. Because you can't dot your I's. You can't cross your T's. You can't be in two places at one time. And now those checks for services rendered are being required to be paid. Let me tell you something. Your middle name is not prostitute. I know I'm talking to somebody. You walking around hurting inside. Organs are in shock. Because guess what? Those deals you made in the dark are depleting your health. Some of you have had some scares that antibiotics can't work. And some of you have had dreams that have waken you out of your sleep. I know I'm talking to someone. Let me tell you something, y'all. You got some people that like to play in the darkness. And they think they got it together. But you fail to realize we only use 6% of our brain. And unfortunately with that, there are things that you will not understand that is going on because it is of the spiritual nature. Some of y'all dancing are just, I hate to say it, are literally at death's door. You know it, you felt it, and you continually want to puff your chest out like you are bulletproof. Let me tell you something. The last thing that you got out of was you'll get out of jail card spiritually. Your angels were there. That could have turned south real quick. But yet you want to listen to your friends to give you advice. Mind you, they're not there. I know I'm talking to someone. They want to tell you, well, if it was me, I would have said and did this. Let me tell you something. When the chips fall, they ain't going to be there for you. When the chips fall, they're going to be reading about you in the paper. Because the company that you're keeping is laying in wait. I know I'm talking to someone. You turn around and say, well, you know what? I got to give a gab, girl. I'm going to go on over here and talk to this female right here, and she's going to take care of this debt. Let me tell you something. She's smiling in your face right now, and she look like fine wine, but little do you know, she's got a darkness inside her that if you don't do what you need to do, you're going to come up missing. I know I'm talking to someone. She's actually showed you this. She's actually said it in some of her response, and it made you scratch your head like, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. That's why she got issues with her hands. Oh, no, no, no. You try to pick your mark. You try to pick your times when you interact with this person, but this person's got your number. But here's the thing that you don't know. She ain't alone. And every time you speak brand new, guess what she do? She turns around and conveys it to someone else. So the picture about you don't look well. And they have told her, the next time he gets out of line, we're going to straighten him up. I know I'm talking to someone. Let's keep it 100, y'all. You ain't built for this. You never was, and you never will be, because that's not part of your walk. What, for a reputation? Let me tell you what. The most cunning people you're going to ever come in contact don't broadcast. Yeah. The most, I hate to say it, but this is the only words that can convey my point. Some of your most dangerous people you will ever come in contact are spiritual. But because they fear God's wrath, it keeps them in check. Because see, they know the old them. And trust, they don't mind getting a serial number on a jumpsuit if you hurt their own. You're too busy worrying about her outcome when you need to worry about her father. What about her brother that looks at you kind of sideways like, he must think I fell out of a tree. That guy waiting to jump on you for breathing wrong. I know I'm talking to someone. That's not part of your walk. It never was. So stop sticking your chest out. Ground your feet. Speak your truth. But if you don't, the pain and agony that you're feeling right now, that's going to be a long way to go. And I'm going to wrap this up. Queens, stop putting a price tag on your vagina. You can't turn around and say, I want a good man when you ain't a good woman. Your job is to prepare. Now's the time that you speak your truth and start loving on you and start healing. And that doesn't mean you can find it on the bottom of a bottle. Not by way of a secret rendezvous because you think, well, I met him, he looks good on the profile. Let me tell you something. Don't you realize that's a front? Anybody can say whatever they need to say in front of a computer. But it's validated when they're in the flesh. So why are you lowballing your self-respect? But mind you, my single parents, 2016, you're going to have to make a choice. You can't cut the other one out of your life. Because if you continue to hold on to your pride and ego, what's going to happen is you're going to have a reaction from your kids, unfortunately, that's going to put you in a position that you're not going to be able to deal with. And I'm afraid to tell you this. Mrs. and Mr. Loverman, as soon as it pops off, they're leaving you. Because they're not, I hate to tell you, they don't give two, excuse my French, they don't give two shits about your kids. They don't. And they don't plan on sticking around when you need them most. So once again, why are you giving access to people that don't deserve to hear you breathe? Why? Let's talk about that, some compulsive disorders you got that you've been trying to hide? What about those addictions? You think you got it under control, right? Well, I only do it when I get paid, but your bills ain't getting paid. And it's false, and it's causing you to do things you don't want to do now. Don't you realize that's the catch-22? That's what the devil uses. He wants you to totally conform to your destruction. And here's the kicker about it. What did that physician tell you when you got that last checkup? You turned around and looked them bold-facedly in their face and said, no, I don't do that. But little did you realize you are discrediting their education, because they know what they see, and their job is to let you know what is going on. You think you're the first body that they've actually had to examine, and they told you as respectfully as they could, you need to change your habits. I know I'm talking to someone, and it's funny because yesterday I had this thought come across my mind, and it was the title of one of LL Cool J's songs, and it's pink cookies in a plastic bag being crushed by a building. And I was like, why am I thinking about that? Where did that come from? And then I got it. Some of y'all are seeing the effects of your behavior, and it's starting to disfigure you in your genitalia. I tell you, the antibiotics ain't gonna cut it. You're saying, well, you know what, I'll just turn around and I'll slow down. I'll slow down, but you know, guys sleep around, I'm gonna sleep around too. Have the audacity to use vibrato to convince yourself that your behavior is what you need. What you need is to love yourself. What you need is to check your environment. What you need is to allow God to guide your life. That's why the other side of your bed is cold. I know I'm talking to someone. But it all makes sense in the intended time, because the person that you're destined to be, you're going to look back at this time, and you're going to look at the things that you lack. And you're going to say to yourself, you know what? I'm glad I went through it, because I gained the insight and the wisdom of what I needed all along. You got to take that anger out of your heart and put that compassion in there. Some of y'all have trauma that came from your childhood that make up your psyche today, as well as it impacts the way you see the world now. It ain't your walk. Stop claiming something that you ain't. EPMD said it best. There's no more future. There's no future in your front. And that's why you're not happy. And you deserve to be happy. But if you're not willing to do the work, you will never know what love is. You won't know. You'll end up being like everyone else, lost, broken. That ain't your walk. But more importantly, God is not going to give you your blessings to squander it. He's got something and someone that, listen, your mind, you can't wrap your mind around the blessing that he got. That's why he has to be still. I know some of y'all might be saying, well, Gerald, I want that lover that embrace keeps me still, wakes me up, or puts me to sleep. You desire that. Well, guess what? You attract that within yourself first. You tired of them disrespecting you? Then stop disrespecting yourself. And that's the one thing. Just like trust and respect, it is always given. The hard part is keeping it. So I ask you again, do you know who you are? Because if you did, you will fight for that person called you. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your work. And for that, it helps me discern mine. There's no happiness in a defiled bed. That's why relationships break up. You know why? Because the one that's intended has the keys to the other side of your life. Don't you think you're worth it? I do. Be blessed.